It's a great pleasure to welcome back to What's Next Hylton Kallner, who is the CEO of Discovery Bank at Discovery Limited, a very busy man. I've known him for many years and been looking at his different roles over the last few years. And his latest hat that he has at the moment is head of Discovery Bank, who's doing incredibly well. Firstly, welcome back, Hylton. How are you doing?
Great, thanks, Aki, and thanks for having me.
Fantastic. Listen, every time I speak to you, there's always some great news coming out of Discovery Bank, and you guys are doing exceptionally well. I know I bank with you, so every day I speak to people, they're always talking about Discovery Bank. So I can really sense out there the momentum is really growing, and people are banking, they're enjoying the experience, but Discovery Bank has been described as the fastest growing bank in South Africa, and that's an extraordinary achievement in such a short space of time. What do you believe has driven this growth, and how does your shared value banking, this model that you have, differentiate from traditional banks? Because you're clearly doing something different.
Yeah, thanks, Aki. First of all, I love the fact that you bank with us, and I love the anecdotes from our clients. Nothing's kind of more exciting for us as we build the bank. And as you say, the bank was built on this concept of shared value banking, but it was also built on kind of a few other hypotheses right up front. There were essentially four things that we almost kind of said up front that would really be the foundation for the bank. Firstly, and I think quite differently at the time, when digital banks were being launched around the world, was that we said we would build a full suite, full product bank. So it wasn't going to be a simple transaction account or a basic account. We would build the full suite of products that you as a client would need, from transaction accounts to savings to credit cards to home loans. And that's sort of what we're rolling out now. The second is, as you correctly say, shared value. The concept that if you manage your risk well, if you manage your finances, if you exhibit behaviors that are good for you, they're also good for the bank. And we're able to reward you in various forms and shapes, like our miles and our travel ecosystem and healthy food and a whole host of different areas that are really playing out. And we've seen clients really engage and manage their money well. And so we see the correlations coming through. And so that's the second thing. The shared value model is really working exceptionally well for clients and for us. The third was a branchless, mobile-first digital bank, and the important part of that was that it wasn't going to be low service or low touch at all. We said we must build a full-service bank, even though there's no branches, and so that's played out, I think, exceptionally well, and it manifests from our 24/7 call center for our clients, for every single client across the bank, all the way through to our private bankers for our purple clients. And so it's the best kind of service and rated as the best service in South Africa in the banking industry. And so kind of digital, but full service and no compromises. And that was the third thing. And then the fourth thing was that the bank must become the digital platform and the kind of the first point of entry for our clients across the group. Your entire Discovery portfolio, whether it's Discovery Health or Life or Insure or Invest, must be accessible through the bank, and the bank must be the new rails for the group, and that's playing out, and we've built that. So it kind of the growth itself is gratifying, but that's really, I think, the output of having built a bank that is very different in every single respect, and hopefully our clients are really enjoying it.
Now, listen, as you were talking there, I was thinking health and wealth on one app. I mean, that's it's a fantastic landing page to be on, and yeah, you get a great snapshot of where you are and what your health looks like and what your financial health looks like, and it's fantastic. Just recently I was interviewing the Luno CEO, and we were talking about your partnership with Discovery, and you've really introduced some very some industry firsts, at least this year, including this integrated crypto trading with Luno, which we were discussing the other day. And I was thinking to myself, it's cryptocurrency, it's mature, it's now people are talking about it, it's part of people's portfolios. Why was this the right time for Discovery Bank to enter the crypto space? And I guess, the maturity of this crypto space talks a lot about it. And how do you see this really shaping the future of banking in South Africa?
So I think, as you say, the crypto assets themselves are maturing as an asset class. And what we've seen is really, I think, two key trends. The first is that the regulatory environment is becoming much clearer, or has been clarified by our regulators, and we've got, I think, market leading regulators globally. So our regulators are very much forward thinking in that regard, and so there's much more regulatory clarity around how crypto assets are treated and regulated. So that gave us a lot of comfort. And then our client take up, as you say, there's kind of a maturing of the market. There are about 6 million, and the latest stats that I've seen are closer to 8 million South Africans that have crypto assets in some shape or form, or invested in crypto assets. And so our clients are kind of the best, almost sort of indicator of where we should go next. And we've had a lot of requests from our clients to enable crypto investing via the bank app. So you get the kind of the security and comfort of transacting in the bank app, or in your bank app, but at the same time having access to the most liquid crypto asset pricing. And that's what Luno gives us, the kind of the real liquidity, market leading liquidity in over 50 crypto assets that our clients can access directly from their Discovery Bank app. So I've actually, earlier today, as it happens, linked a Luno account directly from our Discovery Bank app in a beta version, testing it, and it is seamless. You can trade, you can fund your crypto account, then trade in multiple asset classes in real time, accessing the live Luno pricing that you would get on their platform, but all in the comfort and security and kind of familiarity of a Discovery Bank app. So it really is seamless, and it's brilliant. And I think we're looking forward to rolling that out probably in the next week to our broader client base.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. And can I ask you a personal question? Have you got Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? Do you own some of it? I mean, your investment, is it diversified? Because people talk about, okay, don't put all of your money in crypto, but, diversify, have your property, have some long-term investments, your endowments, etc., etc. Do you have Bitcoin yourself?
So I'm pretty conservative by nature, but I followed our kind of almost house advice that our, as you say, kind of diversified view of the world has been, where our advisors are typically saying 1 to 3% of your portfolio in a crypto asset. So kind of that's I follow. As I say, very prudent, very conservative. I think guys that invested early on in some of the crypto assets, have done phenomenally well. But as an actuary, I follow kind of a very diversified approach, and so in our Discovery Invest business, we've offered the BlackRock ETF, Bitcoin ETF, ever since over the last 18 months or so, which is the biggest. It's actually the biggest Bitcoin exchange traded fund in the world today, and so we've offered that on our Discovery Invest platform, and so I've utilized that as a mechanism. So I'm not a trader, but I do follow our house view around investments.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Now, the one thing that I do love about the bank is your security, and security is top of mind for your clients. And Discovery Bank recently launched this trust alert system, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's got AI-driven features, and it really works really well. Can you tell us a little bit about this, and specifically the AI-driven feature, how it works, and why is it such a game changer for fraud prevention, which is a big headache for banks?
Yeah, so I think the biggest, or one of the biggest trends that we've seen within our client base is kind of social engineering, where you are convinced by a fraudster to make a payment or approve a payment, because they've effectively socially engineered a situation where, out of fear, clients are convinced to make a payment to the fraudsters. And or there's been some kind of intervention in emails or other communication that results in clients making a payment to a third party or a merchant that's fraudulent, or even shopping online where there's a fraudulent merchant on the other side. So we've seen a significant increase in fraud prevalence. What our Trust Alert does is it analyzes your individual behavior and that of the beneficiary or merchant in real time. And effectively using AI, it analyzes all of the different vectors of a specific transaction, of every transaction. So it looks at the time that you're making the payment. It looks at who you're making the payment to, the number of payments, whether it's a new beneficiary, whether other clients have made payments to that beneficiary recently or over time that would give a higher degree or lesser degree of confidence that it's legitimate. And then in real time, if our AI engine or trust score is elevated, and it detects that there's likely to be a high level of fraud associated with that transaction, the actual screen turns red, and we ask the client to pause to check the details of the merchant or the beneficiary again, and then confirm. And it gives them the opportunity, based on all of these inputs that we processing in live as they're making the payment, to really kind of check and confirm that it's a legitimate payment for the client. So really kind of a high degree of specificity, and using the client's personal behavioral metrics as well as those of the merchant or beneficiary to look at that. So it's really using state-of-the-art AI to analyze every single transaction that our clients are making.
That's amazing. I know it's still early days, so I'm not expecting an answer, but have you had quite a few red alerts already? And I'm sure that in the next few months you'll quantify how much money you've saved this. But is it coming up? Are you getting quite a few red alerts, as you mentioned on the screen? And
so it goes live, I think, we're taking it live to a broader client base on a phased approach. We have back tested it across millions of transactions, and we've identified around about 3% of transactions that have a high degree of fraud risk with them, associated with them. But the kind of the level of accuracy is incredible in that it's picking up 9 out of 10 fraudulent transactions in real time. So it is very, very accurate, and with a kind of low number of what we call false positives. So those are the cases that you actually don't want to intervene in, because they are legitimate, and so you don't want to add friction into the process for clients when they're making payments which are correct.
That's impressive. It'll be interesting to see when it goes into full swing. And the data and the analysis that you pick up as well. It's going to be really valuable insights. Now, Discovery Bank has integrated motor insurance, which, hands up, I've got Discovery Insure as well, and expanded lifestyle rewards into the banking app. How does this level of integration enhance the client experience and really strengthen Discovery's ecosystem? I can tell you as a client, I love have everything at my fingertips. I can see how I'm driving. I can see what my rewards are like. I think it's great that I can get a snapshot of where I am.
So existing Discovery Insure clients, as you say, can see all of that in their bank app today. They can see their insurance policies, as well as all of the rewards based on how they're driving in the bank app. And as you earn rewards, they're monetized into Discovery Miles, which you can then track and spend via the bank app. What we've now done is enabled clients to actually activate or get a quote for their motor insurance directly in the bank app in seconds. So it is very, very convenient. It's seamless. It's very simple, and it's the most accurate motor insurance quote that we can give you because it uses all of the data that we have available. So as a bank client, we can actually estimate based on banking data, which is incredibly sophisticated, the number of kilometers that you drive every month. And the kind of the kilometers driven is one of the key factors in motor insurance, because it determines how frequently you're out on the roads, and also what time you're out on the road. So we can see if somebody is doing a lot of shopping late at night, or they're kind of a homebody, and they work from home. They don't do much driving at all. Then we can obviously give them a very, very competitive motor insurance quote. And so we're using all of that data to seamlessly and very quickly, literally in minutes, give clients access to their motor insurance, allowing them to activate, and then the policy is live as they literally press that last button. The policy itself is available in your document folder in the bank app. It's all accessible. It's all in one place. It's easy and it's completely seamless.
No, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, now I must thank my broker, Adam Helper. He always comes up and phones me up and tells me about all these new innovations that are on the app, and it saves me and him quite a bit of time. And the other thing I found interesting was your Spend Trend 25 survey, which shows that 86% of South Africans value fraud protection services. And I'd like to ask you, how does Discovery Bank's multi-layered security approach address these concerns and really building trust with clients? Because at the end of the day, I'm trusting my bank with my personal information, my finances, etc. And trust is such a critical part of doing business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think and it goes, as you say, it goes beyond just the kind of financial assets, goes to your data and how we use it, and every aspect of the kind of the relationship. I think as you say, we've innovated with a multi-layer approach, starting with just your standard Face IDs to access your accounts, but then we've taken it significantly further by creating what we call a digital account vault, which allows you to effectively protect your most valuable accounts with a specific PIN code that you then use to effectively access those accounts. And so even if your phone is stolen and your bank app or other apps are accessed, your accounts that are held in your digital account vault are protected by a completely unique and personal PIN that you then set up. In addition, if you're forced to access those accounts under duress, you can input and set a panic code that effectively notifies us in Discovery, notifies our fraud division quietly and completely in the background that you're accessing those accounts under duress. We track using a whole host of features and factors, all of the transactions that then occur. And in fact, if required, we send out armed security directly to where you are. And so really kind of looking to protect not just your finances, but your physical security as well. And so I think we've invested in a whole range of features that protect you as a client and protect your finances as well.
Wow, that's great stuff. Now, you guys have also achieved at Discovery Bank some really significant milestones over this past year, including breaking even. I mean, that's such a massive one, to think that you're such a young bank and you've broken even, and earning industry recognition through various awards. There's the Ask Orange Index, for example, that assessed Discovery Bank as the best bank in customer service 4 years in a row, I might add. Can you share some of these achievements, and well done, and what they mean for the bank's sustainability and future growth? Because it tells you that you're doing something right.
Yeah, so I think we're proud of the kind of the awards where our clients rate us the best. I think that for us is one of the best forms of recognition. As you said, we've been recognized as the best bank for service in South Africa for the 4th year in a row now, in the Ask Africa Orange Index. It's the first time that any organization has won the industry category 4 years in a row. So our team was really proud of it. And I think from a service perspective, it does reinforce what we're doing. We also won the best bank brand amongst South African consumers for the 2nd year. And I think that kind of represents a lot of the different factors that we've been speaking about in terms of innovation and service, and really meeting our clients' needs in a different way. I think for me, we tend not to look backwards as an organization and as a bank. The launches this year of new products, new developments, new innovations have probably been some of the biggest highlights and milestones for us in the bank, and it kind of each one gives us a new almost foundation that we can build on going into 2026.
Wow, it's awesome. Well done. And these are massive accolades to get. And yeah, I think it's excellent that you're getting those awards. Now you've got some interesting partnerships, Hylton. I see partnerships with MultiChoice, Admit, which I love. The arrive at a boom and it opens automatically. It's fantastic. Discovery Bank is like moving beyond your traditional banking. You've got that lifestyle integration that I'm seeing, and I'd like to ask you what's next for Discovery. If this is the route that you're taking, just in terms of partnerships and product innovation, what else are you looking at?
So I think the beautiful thing about innovation, and as you said, we've launched a few new partnerships. Admit is the one where if you park at any of the malls where Admit is integrated, you effectively park, you shop. If you spend more than 250 Rand at any store, we pick that up digitally, so kind of connecting the transaction to the parking, and then when you drive out, you don't have to pay. We automatically take, if you pay from your Discovery Bank card, if you got it linked to your Admit account, then we'll reimburse you in Discovery Miles. So effectively, your parking becomes completely free. So it's not just kind of seamless to drive in, spend or shop, and then drive out, but then get rewarded with your parking effectively for free. So it tends to be a small kind of grudge that people have when you pay for parking, and we're kind of removing it, not just in terms of the actual process, but the cost as well. On the other hand, I think you've got a new benefit like DSTV, or our partnership with MultiChoice, which is incredibly valuable and gives you access to the most, we think, kind of the best entertainment, certainly sport and live sport if you're a fan, globally. The kind of the selection that we've got access to is just unbelievable as South Africans. And what we've done there is we've employed our shared value model, where if you're managing your money well, if you're using your Discovery Bank account, you get deep discounts back in rewards when you pay for DSTV via your Discovery Bank account. So, from 2026, clients will be able to get up to 50% back on the DSTV stream when they pay for it on their Discovery Bank account, which is incredibly valuable every month and kind of just reinforces the shared value model. We've also created a Miles Plus network of partners where when you shop at them, you get up to 15% back, always on, and kind of just monetizing significant rewards through our partners like Nespresso, which our clients have really loved. So what we found, Aki, is that great innovation tends to be recursive. Once you open something up like the concept of monetizing better behavior through miles, it then opens up a whole host of new opportunities, like Admit, like DSTV, like our Miles Plus network. And so I think that's what you'll see in next year, kind of as we've launched these new innovations that we've spoken about, the kind of the new worlds and ecosystems that they start to create will be built on next year.
Now, a link to your healthy financial status and how you manage your money. Like you've got Vitality Health, you've got Vitality Money, and that remains a cornerstone of your offering. And how does linking healthy financial behavior to tangible rewards continue to resonate with clients? I mean, you touched on some of the rewards now that you get if you use your card, but if you've got a healthy financial behavior, you're still getting rewarded by Discovery Bank. What's been the impact that you've seen on financial well-being?
So, I mean, I think the program itself around Vitality Money and encouraging people through the key behaviors that we've identified, like spending less than you earn, having a savings fund available for emergencies, having the right insurance and retirement planning in place, has been incredibly successful, in the sense that the correlations that we see are very, very strong. That as clients engage in the program, follow the kind of clear direction that's set for them as an individual, it's agnostic of income, And that's an important thing, is that we find that people at lower incomes or high incomes can manage their money well within their kind of current construct. And so what we've seen is that as clients do engage in the program, the defaults come right down, savings increase. And so we've seen brilliant results for the individual. And ultimately, that's good for us as a bank. And we're able to reward them through things like higher interest rates on savings, lower interest rates on borrowings, and a lot of these other rewards that we've been discussing, like Discovery Miles.
Yeah. Now, Hylton, looking ahead, what role do you see Discovery Bank playing in shaping South Africa's digital banking landscape over the next 5 years? And I remember in our previous interview, you set yourself some high expectations and how many, bank clients you want to reach by, I think it was 2027 or 2028, if I'm not mistaken. But it sounds like you guys are going full steam ahead. So what do you see over the next 5 years in this banking landscape you're playing in?
Sure. Actually, I think 5 years feels like an eternity in kind of the digital banking world. As you say, we did set ourselves some really bold ambitions out to 2029, which was really about doubling our client base. We are making good progress in that. We're onboarding typically between 1,300 and 1,500 new clients a day into the bank. About 1,000 of those are completely new to Discovery in total. So the bank is their kind of entry point into the Discovery ecosystem. And so, I think we are certainly making good progress. I think that the kind of the innovations that we are bringing to our clients in the form of things like crypto asset investing are going to set the tone as we go forward. But I think there's a lot to be done. We're kind of just getting going on this journey, and I think that's what's exciting about it.
Absolutely awesome. Is there one thing that you're looking most towards over the next 5 years? Obviously, the change in, the way technology is moving is obviously going to impact the bank. It's impacting everybody's life. Is there one thing that stands out that's really on Hylton's radar that you're keeping a very close eye on?
Look, I think what we see is that the bank app itself will become central to our clients' lives. That finances are becoming more and more digital. The bank itself is so central that what we find is that our clients are accessing our Discovery Bank app every single day on average. So we have nearly 1.5 million clients on the Discovery Bank, and they are accessing the app almost every day. And so I think the potential for a bank app to become much more than just a kind of repository of your bank account, I think is absolutely real. And that's what we're seeing, is that the kind of the power of being so relevant in our clients' lives, I think will really power the kind of the innovation that we focused on, where the kind of the Discovery Bank app is your central repository for every aspect of your life and all the financial aspects of your life, and that repository and portfolio that you access just for everything. And that's where we see it.
Yeah. Fantastic. Hylton, always good to catch up with you. Wishing you a great festive season. Be safe wherever you might be going. Thank you for joining us. Hylton is the CEO of Discovery Bank at Discovery Limited. Hylton, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Aki. Have a great break.